few seconds from the top of the hour, we are awaiting a very important Federal Reserve interest rate decision. It should be out any moment now. This is America Reports, top of the hour. I'm Sandra Smith in New York. Bill, great to have you here today.
Good to be with you as well.
All right, so we are anticipating a decision right now that has a little bit more uncertainty than past interest rates decisions. Right now, the Fed Fund futures are saying the probability of rates staying unchanged is at about 71%. The probability of a hike is 28% heading into this. All right, let me check the lines here, guys. We have it coming in.
Did something just happen?
All right.
The Dow just...
No, it hasn't hit yet.
Okay.
All right, so the whole idea is that if there was a hike, you would have to start to be prepared for that to affect your everyday finances. Okay, the Federal Reserve has left interest rates unchanged. Okay, this is obviously going to be a big point with the president, who has been urging for cuts to the interest rates. There is speculation that we could actually see a hike, so unchanged as expected. And now we will have to anticipate the news conference at half past the hour for any guidance for these markets. Mark Tepper is joining us, Strategic Wealth Partner CEO, and Lou Basenese, Fox Business contributor and Executive Vice President, Prairie Operating Co. Welcome to both of you. So markets are going to have to digest this. When you sat down, the Dow was off about 750 points. It looks like the Dow is coming back. Yeah. On this news just a little bit. It's only down about 630 right now. Your takeaways?
Well, I mean, there was growing speculation that Kevin Warsh was possibly going to hike, which, you know, in my mind, like, I thought there was no way that was possibly going to happen.
9-3 decision, by the way.
Okay. So, I mean, one of the things that I really like about Kevin Warsh is he's getting off the forward guidance thing. He's no longer going to be held hostage by dot plots. And he's more interested in taking advantage of real-time data as it crosses the wire. And one of the things he believes in from a PCE or inflation metric standpoint is he actually prefers something like a trimmed mean PCE, like via the Dallas Fed, whereby they're eliminating those volatile outliers.
Hold on, you're on Fox News Channel.
Basically, rates aren't going anywhere anytime soon. I think that the inflation outlook, that picture is too muddy for him to hike rates. I think anyone that was saying that there was going to be a hike today, that's just clickbait. It was not contrarian conviction. There's no case for a hike, and there's no case for a cut.
The point right now the Fed is making is that, and I'm just reading this as it comes in, is that they see inflation elevated still to the 2% target.
Correct. And he said you cannot sit around on inflation, but I don't think he's going to move just yet. What's most interesting to me, I would say this whole meeting was going to be a snooze fest, except for the dissent, 9-3. Last decision was 12-0, unanimous to keep rates steady. Now we're seeing some dissent. I think that opens the door maybe for a move by the end of the year, but most likely not. We only have 3 more meetings to go.
Inflation's not running that hot. I mean, the job market is not overheated. It's not weak either. So, I mean, I was not expecting a cut by any means, but at the same point in time, a hike just doesn't make sense with inflation. The metric that I was talking about, Sandra, that's not really appropriate for Fox News, when President Trump came into office, it was at like 2.8%. It's down to 2.4% today. So it has been coming down. Again, that strips out the outliers, right? The things that created a lot of noise in 1 month. Those get stripped out, and you figure out really where the trend is heading.
Are you talking food and energy? What are you talking about?
Food and energy for sure, but it could be oil. It could be chickens 1 month.
Oil's energy.
Yeah, we have structural inflation problems, though, too.
Okay, but I just want to keep getting the news out here. So the Federal Reserve is saying that economic activity is expanding at a solid pace despite elevated uncertainty. I think that's really key.
I think it's super key, and we would see this, though, reading the tea leaves from earnings from S&P 500 companies. You're seeing one of the strongest quarterly reports for all companies, not just Mag 7. You're seeing 20% plus growth. It could come in as high as 29% earnings growth. So the underlying economy is very strong. I think once we resolve the situation in Iran, you're going to see oil prices pull back, the inflationary pressures start to ease. We might have grounds for a cut by the end of the year, but I don't think so. I think it's just steady as she goes.
Yeah, I agree.
To your point on Kevin Warsh not liking to do forward guidance, the stock market likes to have a little sense of direction of where things are. They don't like uncertainty.
That's correct. Yeah, but at the same point in time, I mean, I do think investors prefer that somebody's making a decision based off of the data that they see today.
Right now.
I mean, if you go back 2 weeks and you look at the inflation reports from 2 weeks ago, those were looking at what happened in June. That's meaningless right now when oil was $68 a barrel at the beginning of July, and now it's 84, 85. So things change rapidly, and we now have a Fed chair who's going to be making real-time decisions on brand new data that he has access to.
I'm just going to say this. A lot of what we're seeing from the Fed here, it reflects a very strong economy. This, too, from the Federal Reserve just now, productivity growth and capital investment are strong.
Yeah, remember too, and Kevin Walsh is a firm believer that AI is deflationary, so that's going to kick in the back half of the year, boost even more productivity.
You both sound very bullish.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, Powell spoon-fed investors, and Walsh is coming saying, I'm going to be independent, I'm going to be credible, chew your own food, read the data yourself. We're not going to give you guidance on where it's going.
And since we've been talking the stock market, the Dow hasn't really moved a whole lot. Yeah, it's been at about 650 range. What do you think it's waiting to hear with this presser?
I think they're good on what's happening right now with regard to the Fed. I mean, the main concern right now is whether or not the semiconductor trade is going to fail. So we got Meta after the bell, we have Microsoft after the bell, and if either of those companies decide that they're not going to increase CapEx, they don't even have to say that they're going to cut CapEx. If they're not going to increase CapEx, you're going to see semiconductors sell off very quickly. That could turn into a bloodbath. So I think that's the number one concern in the market.
So what's we have to leave it here. It was just before you guys go. What's the play on this right now? Give somebody who's watching right now.
Long stocks. You got to stay long the U.S. economy, stay long stocks. You've got volatility in semiconductors, but the majority of the S&P 500 is within record highs. So.
Wow.
Stay invested.
It's going to keep on going. Wow, that says something at record highs. I loved this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys.
Appreciate it.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.